first quarter have gone much better for you?
Well, we would have executed a couple things in special teams a little bit better and gotten touchdowns instead of field goals, but really proud of how we came out in all phases. We knew, kind of the challenge we were up against and a bunch of great guys here that are ending their careers. First and foremost, obviously Sean Mannion, and just a ton of respect for what that guy's done throughout his career. Defensively, you've got really 10 starters that are on their way out, and we had to be ready to go. And our guys realized that last week, at the beginning of the week, really well. Had a great week of preparation and believed in what they were doing, and that was obviously a really good way to start out.
Anyone else? Right over here.
Coach, the defensive effort, especially throughout November, has been, I guess, better than it had been all season. Just what's your thoughts on the defensive effort today and how it's compared over the last few weeks?
Well, I think generalizations are hard. I think today they played hard, ran to the ball really well, tackled better. Still not exactly where you want that to be, but any time you can limit those guys to those points and numbers is big. But just the back and forth of us scoring either touchdowns or field goals in the first half and stopping them to nothing, that's the way you like that ratio from our standpoint. But a new challenge and a different big challenge next week with Arizona, them playing the way that they have been lately, and our guys will be excited for that one.
Seated here on the left, Gary.
Yeah, Marcus, just more of the same from Marcus, about what you would expect in a big game like this.
He missed a couple throws today. Unbelievable. That guy is just such a stud. And again, it starts last week, at the beginning of last week, just in terms of his approach, which is infectious to everybody else. And when your best player is the guy setting the tempo of improvement, of better, of just that whole mindset, that's big. That's really important. And he did some things with his legs tonight, did some things with his head tonight that make him the player he is.
Right front and middle. Right.
Freeman, Marshall, and Nelson, had a great game tonight. How much does that help having them have such a big game, take the pressure off of Marcus?
Big. And I think the biggest thing to all those guys, all three of those guys are doing a ton of great things without the ball. I think that a lot of people see the numbers of this guy, or hey, this guy has receiving. I don't know what Byron ended up with tonight, but he probably had a few yards. But he's doing so many things without the ball that make it go. The same with Royce. The same with Charles. Charles has done a ton of things in special teams and on offense, and our receivers in particular, offensively and again in special teams, do so many things without the ball that make it go. And the versatility that presents is special.
Front center right here, Matt.
Mark, do you feel like you guys are playing the best football going into Pac-12 championship all year?
Well, I hope we're going to have a great Monday. That's what we hope for. Just every next thing is better. And we'll try to get a little bit. I say pretty much every week, try to get a little bit healthier, a little bit smarter, and compete like heck during the week to get ready for Arizona.
Seated in the middle, Tyson.
You talk about Nelson and Freeman both having really strong games, and they're young guys. They're big weapons on what is now still Marcus's team. At some point, Marcus isn't going to be here anymore. Do you get the feeling that these guys are kind of evolving into that role of, we can be go-to guys later on down the road?
Well, we think they can be go-to guys today, or next Friday, whenever that presents itself. And those guys, again, they're cut from the same cloth. I mean, they're very similar competitively to Marcus. I think Byron is similar, just of constantly want to compete, constantly want to improve. And again, it goes back to last summer. I know we've talked about this before of Marcus and Keenan Lowe in particular mentoring those guys. And that's the unique thing about this team. And it happens on special teams, it happens on defense. But Keenan Lowe is teaching a guy how to take his job, how to take balls out of his hands. That's not normal. And that's a really cool thing to be a part of.
Over in front of the door, Andrew.
Yesterday, Arizona wins, sets up this kind of rematch, and a lot of people are looking ahead to that one, of course, for storylines for your team, their own loss. What do you see from your team's focus last night, this morning, that lets you know they could come out and jump ahead 30-3 and kind of put this game away early?
Coach Gray, what's in the hall?
That's what you're always wondering about. Everything of we had such a great week of practice, and then during the day, somebody has their shoe untied, and you're like, okay, that guy's not, you're like, hey, he's not focused, he's not right. But how they prepare, I think, says a lot about who they are. Obviously, have just, there's so many things that go into, hey, did we have a great warm-up? Did we have, there's a lot of times where people have, horrible pre-game warm-up and they go out and play great, or vice versa. And so I think just the trust that they have in one another, the trust that they have in their preparation is the key.
Seated far side, Aaron.
Coach, your thoughts on facing Arizona again? Did you talk to your team at all in the locker room about facing a team that's beaten you already?
No, I mean, we talked just a little bit about preparing to give somebody our best shot, but we kind of how I phrased it, I think I would have said it about whoever was next. But I mean, certainly our guys know that the coulda, woulda, shoulda of some of that night, and a lot of that night is Arizona's really good, and I think everybody has seen how that's played out throughout the year, and so we'll be excited. We've got our banquet tomorrow, and then we'll start preparing for Arizona tomorrow afternoon.
Over here against the wall.
Knowing your guys the way you know them and seeing how they've responded these last 7 wins, do you feel like they're going to really relish a chance to play Arizona?
Well, I think yeah, knowing them as competitors, absolutely. I think anytime you don't put your best foot forward, and that's, again, I'm not taking anything away from Arizona, an element, whatever it is, whatever, redemption, revenge, whatever those words are, if that plays into preparing great, that's great. But you can't go into the game and be all white knuckled because of something that happened months ago. You have to be white knuckled to have a great Sunday and Monday.
All right, couple more questions. Go right here.
Coach, right here. You said you've had a couple of great weeks of practice last couple of weeks. How do you keep the players from tensing up, knowing they're facing Arizona again and it's the Pac-12 championship?
Just prepare. I mean, just focus on us, focus on having fun in terms of the right ways, and our guys have managed those things very well, just as far as work and competing with and against one another, knowing that it pays off down the road. And what they've done and what some of these other teams have done across the country, it's hard. It's really hard to work as hard as they've done, prepare as well as they have, and luckily, we've had a few things bounce our way, and it's paid off. But seeing them practice every single day and seeing how they work together is rare and special, and they know that, which is good.
All right, last question over here in the red coat.
Coach, last year, this game went down to the wire. How much nicer was it to not have to maybe worry as much tonight?
Well, it's there were probably a few beverages drank in corners on both sides of it earlier than last year, but we're trying to compete like heck. Whoever's in the game until the last second, and you saw Oregon State did the same thing, and it's a tribute to both of these programs and the history of this rivalry. I think to do it any other way wouldn't be fair to it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.